All right, here we are, and we are live. And as you can see, we are together in the same room because we are on Cayman Island with our mastermind members. And we have a lot going on today in the markets because we see that crude oil is spiking, yields are spiking, stocks are stumbling. We have a few individual stocks that are making some moves here, and earnings season kicking off on Friday. So we have a lot to talk about. And with that said, let's get started.
Let's do it.
So welcome to Coffee with Markus and Morgan. Today is Monday, October 7th. It's my brother's birthday. Happy birthday, Tobias. Okay, just in case you're seeing it. Anyhow, so in this show, we're going to talk to you about what's happening in the markets and how we are trading it. And geez, I mean, Mark, this morning, first of all, if you just look at the indices, it doesn't seem like an exciting day at all.
Yeah, a little bit of a diddle day after the slightly lower open, just kind of chopping around a little bit. But it's been an interesting couple of days. On Friday, we had a nice rally and finishing the week positive when it looked like we could have a negative week, but we were able to squeeze out some gains there. And I think we have to go back and just say, what a jobs report.
Yeah, because of the jobs report, it was the fourth win week. You scooch a little bit closer to you. That I'm in the frame as well. Okay. No, you're good.
That's
You
cute,
look
Marcus.
fantastic. Okay. So yeah, but let's go back to the jobs report. We go to the economic calendar from last week. Take a look at the jobs report that happened on Friday, and overall, good news across the board.
Yeah, look at that. So average hourly earnings coming up in a tick higher than forecast. The non-farm employment numbers were fantastic, a huge increase compared to what was expected. The unemployment rate ticking down, and some of the revisions were better. But I think that this is a strong jobs report, and this trickled into the probability of a rate cut and also yields.
Yeah, looking at the yields this morning, interest rates. So the 2-year yield this morning trading above 4. And look at this on Friday, a huge surge here. 10-year yield, very similar, trading above 4%. Huge shift on Friday.
Oh, absolutely. And so trading at highs we haven't seen since August. But I think more significantly, with that jobs report and what this is telling us is that that 50 basis point hike that some investors were hoping for is just totally off the table now.
It seems. And this morning we looked at this, and we are so used over the past few weeks that we say, okay, this is the probability of a half a percentage cut. This is the probability of a quarter percentage cut. Oops, let me just go there again. And all of this morning is wrong. This year, the 16% is the probability of a
No
0%
cut.
cut.
Yep.
No cut at all. And this is 25%. So I said the 50 basis points completely off the table this morning.
Exactly. And so the focus last week was really on jobs and whether or not we'd have a weakening jobs market where the Fed needs to get ahead of it and maybe cut rates more aggressively if inflation seems to be under control. But now it turns back to inflation because of the Chinese stimulus and then also the Middle East tensions and jobs being great. Now traders are starting to think, well, gosh, maybe we need to focus our attention on inflation, and this week we're going to get that.
Yeah, and just going back, all this rally that we saw over the last few weeks, that is kind of where traders were factoring in. Okay, the Fed keeps lowering interest rates, and until this morning, we have been talking about a half a percentage cut. The probabilities at some point were 60-40 in favor of this. It's a shift last week. Now that this is off the table, it's like, okay, all the enthusiasm that got priced in, it's fizzling a little bit out
Yep,
here.
yep. Still think a quarter points on the table, but definitely a shift from what we saw the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, because I said we will get more numbers. So looking at this week, first of all, what's happening today? Nothing. It's all a yellow flag report. What's happening tomorrow? Nothing. All yellow flag. What's happening on Wednesday? Yay! There is a little bit of red flag. The FOMC meeting minutes.
Look at that. So a red flag report coming in Wednesday afternoon, and then we see some red flags on Thursday and Friday.
And these are the big ones because that's where we talk about inflation again. Core CPI, consumer price index, and the consumer price index on Thursday, and then on Friday, the PPI, the producer price index.
And these could be market movers.
It could be market movers because, I mean, at this point, everybody is assuming the Fed got inflation under control. This is why they cut interest rates by half percentage point. And we see here the CPI is expected to go down by 0.1%. It is expected to decrease from 2.5% to 2.3%. And any surprise to the upside will be, I mean, it will be a nightmare for the markets. The markets will drop.
That's not what traders want.
Yeah. So then we talked about it. What else going on today besides interest rates spiking? We have crude oil spiking. Look at this crude oil. I mean, right now trading at levels that we haven't seen since late August, trading back from $66 now to $76. And I mean, just a few weeks ago, we were talking about $66 a barrel, $10. I mean, this is a quite significant move to the upside here.
Exactly, and it's all because of the Middle East tensions. And right now, investors trying to figure out what comes next with Israel and whether or not they will potentially attack Iran and maybe their oil uh, fields. And this is where I saw that although it's being discouraged and maybe the likelihood is low, I saw that Goldman Sachs said that so Iran, they are the third largest OPEC member, and they produce about 3.3 million barrels a day. So if there is some disruption and it's 1 million barrels a day, then they see, this is from Goldman Sachs, they see oil at $80 a barrel. If there's disruption of 2 million barrels a day, they see oil at $90 a barrel. Now, again, the probability of that happening is relatively low to have that type of disruption, but it just goes to show that oil is volatile for a reason.
Well, plus we already know how it works in the markets. I mean, buy the rumors, sell the facts. I mean, right now it's the rumor, the uncertainty. That's what's happening. Talking about uncertainty. I mean, the VIX is back above
Yeah.
20. The fear index, look at this, has been rising because now there is the uncertainty. What's happening with Israel and Iran? What is happening with inflation this week? And then also this week, earnings.
Yes.
Earnings.
Kicking off
When is earnings season starting?
Friday. I saw an interesting number. I don't remember the source, but I saw that out of the last 62 Q4 results, the earnings were better 60 times. So we'll see what happens. And we know that there were some adjustments to forecast for that fourth quarter. And now do companies come in and say, hey, it actually is much better than we expected?
Yeah. So Friday, JP Morgan, the largest bank in the US, reporting earnings, Wells Fargo, BlackRock, Bank of New York, and you're just completely dismissing Delta and Domino's on Thursday before the bell and just say these
Well,
are not
yeah,
earnings.
you have Pepsi on Tuesday. No, those are earnings. They're on the calendar for a reason. But the kickoff is on Friday with JP Morgan. That's just how it works.
Because you say so? I want to find a credible source that that backs you up there. All right. I mean, overall, looking at the heat map this morning, we see very interesting. It is a very mixed picture, right? So
Yeah.
Nvidia slightly up again. We have Amazon down. We have Apple slightly down. Microsoft, Google down. Meta down. But I mean, overall, it is a little bit more red. But there's nothing that really stands out. It is a rather quiet diddle day.
Yep.
Because we talked about it when we were here with our mastermind. This is a 5-minute chart of the S&P. We opened right here.
Yeah.
And that's where we are right now. We didn't go anywhere at all over the past hour and a half. So traders are waiting, but they're nervously waiting. This is why the VIX is spiking.
Exactly.
All right, let's talk about our positions. What do you think?
Sure.
All right. So first of all, WTF. We do have some action here in WTF. First of all, we had 2 exits. Amazon being one of the exits. We did not take the Amazon trade, so therefore nothing for us to do. And then CCEP, Coca-Cola, Euro-Pacific Partners, got us an exit signal this morning, and we both exited according to plan.
Exactly. I had a small loss on this one, but hey, it's time to get out.
I had a small win on this one, but it was kind of a scratch trade.
Yeah.
I think I made $30 and you might have lost $20 or something like this. So we'll see. Then we have our open signals and open signals. First up, we do. Oh, you are in Johnson & Johnson, right?
I am.
Right, Johnson & Johnson. You entered at 160.24, right now trading at 160.18.
Flat.
Nothing happening there. Flat. We did not take KDP, Keurig Dr. Pepper.
Yep.
We did take the CL trade, and today, slightly up for the day, 0.4%. So we entered at 99.25, and right now trading at 99.43. Slightly up here. I'll take it.
Yeah, and then MDLZ. This one's pulled back a little bit from the entry, and it looks like it's finding some support just above the 200-day moving average.
Yeah. So nothing for us to do there. MO, Altria Group, also today slightly down and pretty much with the overall market diddling along. We entered at 49.70, right now trading at 49.90, so slightly up, but I mean, not really significantly, but save the best for last. Pfizer. PFE.
Look
Pfizer.
at that. So nice gap here, and I saw that this is due to an activist investor that has picked up a considerable position in Pfizer. It seems to be that other investors like the news.
Yeah. So we entered at 28.29, right now trading at 29.39. We have been trading as high this morning as 29.84. So let's see if we can see a little bit follow through here. But looking at, we might get an exit signal tomorrow morning. We'll see.
Looking forward to making some money on this one.
Right. Then we had a new few entries, and
Yes.
we had a total of 4 entries, and we took 3 out of these.
AMT, sorry. AMT up a little bit from today's open, so looking good.
Yep. Then KO, Coca-Cola. Let's see, where's our live data?
This one.
Bing! Come on, I thought we were slightly down here.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Let's see if we get the live data here. Otherwise, I'll just hit refresh. There we go. There's Procter & Gamble, PG, entered at 169.16, right now trading at 168. So
Yeah.
down like, what, 80, 90 cents, something like this.
Yep.
So not much going on. But hey, right now, it's pretty busy with these open signals. I do believe we don't have KDP. So we have 5 open plus 3 new ones, 8 open positions.
Exactly. So filling up my positions with WTF trades, and we'll see what the end of day results bring, and if there are some exits for the open.
Yeah. All right. Let's hop over to the wheel. And first up on the wheel, BP, British Petroleum. And this morning, with crude oil moving higher, so is BP.
Yeah, looking good. It's had some really nice days, and today slightly higher. As it was pushing towards highs of the day, I was looking at selling 34.50 calls, but not quite enough premium there to get the 30% annualized that I'm looking for.
Right. But still up 0.73%, taking this. HAL, Halliburton, not quite participating in the move today. I mean, up 0.14%, but I mean, we talked about it, loving this this W formation, the double bottom that we are seeing here. So right now, next stop, go through the 32.50 and then back towards our 34.50.
Exactly.
Looking good there. KSS, Coles today down again 4%. Coles is just jumping around like crazy. I sold the 21.50 expiring on Friday. They expired worthless. With that, I was able to bring down my break even to 19.74. And we see that Coles just has these moves. This range is a pretty wide range. If you look at this, that is an 18% move. So the range is kind of like 15 to 20% wide.
That's definitely a wider range.
Yeah. So let's see. Nothing for me to do there. Merck doing its own thing today, was slightly up. Now it's slightly down. I mean, pretty much unchanged, trading at 109. need this to move back up here. Come on, Mark. Let me just show you of what's happening. So this is the move. It looks like the monster of Loch Ness. Kind of,
You might say that.
right? I mean, kind of like this.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So UPS. Gosh, darn it, UPS. I mean, really, right back into the range.
Give it a little credit though, because it could be seeing some support there. Exactly. Exactly.
Boom. Okay. So what we do is we delete the range. We just show the support,
Yes.
and we say, okay, this is support at where 130,
Yep.
and from there it just up and away.
Exactly.
All right, up and away. Save the best for last. CSIQ. Gosh, CSIQ has a wild day today.
And I'm a little disappointed.
You should be.
I mean, come on, CSIQ. You're up 20%. I mean, this is where there was some news about a BlackRock investment in a subsidiary, and I thought that had already been, it was already out there. And I mean, that was the only thing I could see. But if it was tied to it, I bet that part of this move is a short covering rally.
It could be,
Because
right?
it's
There's a
just moving
short squeeze.
so much, yeah.
Right, because I mean, this morning at some point we were up like 20%. We are still up 12%. I mean,
Yeah,
don't
I'm
get
not
me
gonna
wrong.
complain.
I'm not taking
Yeah.
this, but we want to see that this move has legs because I mean, if now we look from where we were here just a few weeks ago, from the low to the high, this is a
Huge,
70%
huge.
move. So,
Yeah.
I mean, yes, on the one hand, we probably had some short covering this morning that contributed to the move. Now, on the other hand, we might have some profit taking, right? Where people might have bought it when we reached this bottom here around 14 or maybe around 12, and now saying, hey, this is a pretty significant move. Let's take some profits here.
Yep. But I can't complain.
Not at all. We won't complain. All right. So CSIQ, keep going. And I mean, we'll take a look at the markets here in just a moment and see if we get out of the diddle mode here and have some movement today. But let's talk about some dad jokes.
All right, Marcus.
What do you got?
What do you call it when you put your grandma on an Gosh darn it. What do you call when you put your grandma on speed dial?
I'm pretending that I don't know, Mark. What do you call that?
Instagram.
Ah!
Oh, that was horrible execution.
Yeah, but a
That
good
was
one.
bad.
It's a good
That
one.
was bad.
Okay. Um, you see, I just love it how Debbie, after all these years, still thinks I'm sexy. Even when I make snarky comments, she says, "What an ass."
All right, that's yeah. I like the
Right? I mean, not on camera.
That did it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's take a look. I mean, S&P 500. Nothing's going to happen here right now. I mean, we are trading right around the opening price, which means that we are still down for the day. Finished on Friday up here, so the S&P down 0.26%. The Dow, same deal, trading right around the open, down 0.3%. NASDAQ trading right around the open. So pretty much we're seeing right now what we already saw 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
VIX is coming down a little bit. So right now we are trading still above 20, but we were up as high as 10% this morning, still up 7.6%.
Volatility.
Volatility is here.
Yep.
We'll see. All right. Anyhow, hey, hope that you enjoyed today's show. If you did, do us a favor and give us a like. We are live here in Grand Cayman with our mastermind, enjoying our time and appreciate all of your likes. If you feel that this was information worth sharing, there's a share button right underneath. Please share with it. And then we'll see you again tomorrow morning.
Until then, happy trading.